Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to our June 2026 Together session. If you were here in December, we had Together 25. That was 25 hours of me on this stage. A lot happened, including the ghost taco. If you were here, you know about it. But tonight, we got a mini version. We have our Together sessions. This is our June installation. I will not be up here for 25 hours straight. We'll be here until 9 p.m. Chicago time, 6:30 now, so it's 2.5 hour show. We have joining us today from 3 different countries. Are we 3 different continents? We almost made 3 different continents, 2 different continents. We'll have musicians with us live from Nigeria. We'll have musicians live from us in Indonesia. We'll have a musician live with us from India. And they'll all be sharing their talents. We'll get a chance to speak with them. And we'll get a chance to talk, show how people are using music together around the world. I'm your host, John Gardner. I am the executive director of the World Music Foundation, not to be confused if there's any others. The World Music Foundation. We're based out of Chicago, Illinois, where I think there's a tornado going on. I've been hearing warnings about that, but we're safely inside our world headquarters right now. And what we do as a nonprofit is everything from cultural concerts here on this stage. It's usually much more talented individuals than myself on this exact stage, bringing to our audience. We've had Honduran guitar duos. We've had kora players from Guinea, West Africa. We've had erhu musician from China, Native American flute just a few weeks ago. Last weekend, we had an awesome storytelling workshop, getting pumped about storytelling. At the end of this month, we're going to have an open mic storytelling event. So we're bringing the community into this space. Before that, we had 1619, a one-man show. So we had some musical theater happening in this room. Everything we do is based on a simple premise that just sharing the arts, sharing the musicianship, the beauty of the amazing talents around the world is a very direct way to build respect across cultures. It's pretty hard to think that someone's completely worthless and think down on that person when they've just moved you emotionally through their music, through their art. So we make sure that there's always opportunities within these walls, based here in Chicago, Illinois, in the Edgewater neighborhood of Chicago, but also through live broadcasts like this, through our social media, through our newsletter. Shout out to the newsletter. You can sign up at theworldmusicfoundation.org/newsletter. And we send out links to articles from around the world about different music-related, cultural-related topics. We give you updates about what we're doing here at the headquarters. Of course, our events, but also some behind the scenes, get a little spotlight on different staff members and interns. So sign up for our newsletter, stay up to date with us. I'd love to hear from you. I've got some comments over here, and I'm loving to see Samantha joining, Rachel. I lost all y'all's names just now. Sorry about that. Whoever else was on that list, I'm excited you're here. And that's a fact. You can type in the chat. I'm supposed to be getting the chat from all the different platforms. We will find out if I am. Drop in the chat where you're from, and drop in the chat the music that you found yourself surprised to really dig on. Maybe the first time you ever heard it. You ever find a type of music and you're like, I don't know, what is this about? But then it just completely resonates with you. And it just you don't need to study it. You don't need to know the meaning behind it. Of course, we all know music is a universal language, right? So I'm not even going to bring up, we don't care about the lyrics as far as the language, right? We might not be able to understand the language. But I've had some just straight up instrumentals that for some reason just connect with me every single time. And you want to know what it is for me? So this is completely out of my cultural sphere, and also even out of my, I guess, epoch or like time frame. I, for some reason, am completely drawn to music from the Ottoman Empire. I don't know why. It gets me fired up every time I hear it. I don't know. It just like shoots straight to my soul. I love it. I don't know if it's the intervals. I'm sure we could break it down musically. Maybe there's a connection to, I don't know, blues or something else. But without ever hearing it before, the first time I ever heard Ottoman music, it blew my mind. So that's my sleeper pick right now, which might not have been on your bingo card for what is John's, one of his most cherished music. It's music from the Ottoman Empire. That's how I get down. So I don't have the names on the screen right now, but I'm just going to assume that you're putting them in on one of the other platforms. I'll tell you the platforms that we're live on right now. We're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I do believe all of those are up and running. Yes. When we did this in December, we were very ambitious. First off, we're doing 25 hours, so you know we're ambitious. But then we thought we're going to broadcast on all the platforms, like every platform. Name a platform, yeah, we were on that one. Or we thought we were going to be on that one. Within the first 9 seconds, we got banned from TikTok. What happened? We didn't do anything. We didn't play any copyrighted music or anything. But they didn't like something I said, and we were banned from TikTok instantly. So if you're here, you're hearing this. We might just play a clip anyway and apologize to TikTok tomorrow for not being live on TikTok, because we're not even trying. It just doesn't seem to work out. I'm going to tell you about our lineup today. So I mentioned that we have Nigeria, Indonesia, and India. Well, from Nigeria, we're going to hear from Invince Sunday. Invince Sunday is an amazing musician who plays the xylophone. So already his musicianship's incredible, but he also uses his gift to teach children. And the videos of what the children are able to play is just mind-blowing. It's incredible to see what he's able to instill into the children. And he comes on at 7 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Chicago time. Over there, it's 1 a.m. for Invince. So I don't think there's going to be any children joining him for the show. I'm sure he's got these kids very trained to perform fantastic, but I don't think you're getting like a 8-year-old up at 1 a.m. to do a live stream to Chicago. So I'm expecting to speak with Invince directly and him on his own. We'll hear him perform as well. We also have Natalino Mella, the Sasando player of Together 25 fame. So we played clips during Together 25, our 25-hour live stream. We played clips of him playing a wide range of songs, and I was just loving seeing these videos throughout the day, throughout that 25-hour live stream. And now I get a chance to speak with him, which I'm so pumped about. I get to hear him perform live. He's going to perform live for us on the live stream tonight. The June Together sessions brings Natalino on the Sasando from Indonesia on the show later today. And then to round it out, we're going India. We have Winy Winy is a singer and an Ektara player. So excited for that. So she really amazing regional style of musician, and we're going to hear her singing. We're going to hear her playing. I'm pumped to hear. I've never heard the Ektara live. If anyone in the Chicagoland area or anyone watching who will be traveling through the Chicagoland area plays the Ektara, bring it over to the World Music Foundation headquarters, because I would love to hear that live. I get to hear it live tonight. You get to hear it live tonight on the live stream. So we're going to have Winy Roy coming in at 8:30 tonight to round out the show. We're going to hear her perform, and we're going to get a chance to speak with her, which I'm very excited about. Now, the idea behind the Together sessions, the easiest way to bring people together is music. The second easiest is food. And if you need to pump up the flavor of your food, don't forget about our hot sauce. We had great sales of our hot sauce on Together 25, and it's for sale hopefully in our shop. I actually got a letter from a disgruntled customer of our hot sauce earlier in the week. And, some organizations, we're a nonprofit organization, so, we're not in this for the multi-million dollars that we don't get. We're in it to change the world. But we're also have a responsibility to the public to make sure that, we're transparent. And sometimes we mess up. We would be lying if we said that we didn't. So I'm going to come clean, and I'm going to read you the complaint that we got earlier this week. It had to do with our hot sauce. So if you're seeing this and you're thinking, man, I wish I had a bottle of that hot sauce. Number one, yeah, I value your taste, because you're right. But you might not be able to purchase it. This is the angry letter that we received. And Akash, one of our great interns, Akash has been working on this since we received this letter 2 days ago. I don't think the issue's resolved. I'll be dead honest. So, if we have people over there trying to get on and trying to buy it, and you can't see our hot sauce on the worldmusicfoundation.org, it might be because of this reason. This person said, this is the transparency you get on the Together sessions. We're all human. Says, hey y'all, I went to the WMF website to buy some more hot sauce. Repeat customer. That's great. Going to your shop from the landing page, there doesn't appear to be any hot sauce for sale. What? I then did a Google search for the World Music Foundation hot sauce. And that gave me a link directly to your shop, where I was able to complete the purchase. That's great. Success story. But they have concerns. They said, my concern is that the general public will remain blissfully unaware of the delightfully profound hot sauce, and that they may potentially go on to exist without ever having truly experienced life at all. This realization has shaken me to my core. A harmonious, functional society needs unobstructed and direct access to this first-rate condiment. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to bring unobstructed access to this first-rate condiment. You need to understand that it is entirely possible that civilization itself could fall without this access. So, not to put extra pressure on the team, but according to one slightly disgruntled customer from the website, if people don't have unfettered access to this hot sauce, it could disrupt society. So, right now, I don't think it's been resolved. You can go to the worldmusicfoundation.org /shop and it should be there, but might not be. So sorry about that. But we have all kinds of merch. We have swag. We have awesome hats like this featuring versions of our logo, but we also have merch that hopefully expresses you. If you're tuning in on either a Saturday or a Thursday, I think those are the two options on Earth right now. I don't think anybody is still on Tuesday. Most of our guests are already in the future. So here in Chicago, we can rest easy that we know tomorrow will come, because it is almost 1 a.m. for our first guest, Invince Sunday from Nigeria. So they've already reached tomorrow. But if you're watching a live stream of musicians from around the world coming together to share their music, to share insights and speak with the audience from around the world, if that's how you're spending your evening or morning, you're our kind of people. You found your community. Our shop, we tried to stock with merch that just celebrates loving cultures and celebrates just getting to experience the beauty from around the world through music, which is what we do. And I'm loving the emojis from Enrique. Thank you for that. That's just an artful slew of emojis. I don't know which platform this is coming in on, but some people have a gift for putting together the right combination of emojis, and I really appreciate that one. That's just beautiful. So this concept of bringing people together and being able to share with you some of these platforms, some of these artists on our platform, we're also trying to share with you some of the events that we do in our space. We're getting better at that, but I'm trying to spearhead a commitment to live streaming more of our events. So I don't know if I would live stream the upcoming open mic, because those are pretty personal stories, I'm guessing, for a storytelling event. So I'm going to guess if someone's getting up the nerve to tell their story in front of a group here in our space, might not be the coolest thing to like blast it to the entire globe. So you might not get a sneak peek, or you might not get to join in to our in-person events on the 27th of this month. But our next event after that, we have a narrative presentation about diaspora moving from Palestine to Illinois, specifically where we're based in Illinois. So we're going to have an event around that. We're going to have a presentation, and we might be able to go live and share some of that. At the end of the month, we have a Palestinian musician. Should be the final Saturday of that month. We might be able to broadcast that one. But I'll tell you what we definitely will get to broadcast. July 22nd. July 22nd is a date to write down, because we have another Together session. Together session, the July 26th Together session will be on July 22nd. So we'll have another lineup of musicians. We'll have more for you to explore around the world. We're going to probably do a different time. The thing about choosing a one-time slot of 2 or 3 hours, it's a lot different than having 25 hours. When we did 25 hours, anytime that was like a normal time for somebody, they could choose that time and join. The musicians that are joining these Together sessions, such passion from these musicians. This is the kind of heart we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who are getting up at 1 a.m. We're dealing with people who are performing at 8:45 a.m. their time in Indonesia. And Winy Roy's over there getting up in India at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. and singing. That's the commitment. That's the kind of people that we're connecting with that have that passion to share their cultures, their music, their creativity. And that's something that we see time and time again. It's amazing how people over-deliver on sharing of themselves. And it's because of awesome people like you. It's the great people that are joining to see this, the people that have the interest to get to know about musicians from every part of the planet. And that's what we're committed to bringing. We have our first, I'll give you the times again so you can mark these for the rest of the night for yourselves. As a frame of reference, it's 6:53. So in about 5 minutes, we're going to start with, we'll start introducing, and then at 7 o'clock, we're going to have our first guest is going to come on. And then, this is Eric on the future. I am your guest. Eric, great to see you, my man. We're going to have at 7 o'clock is going to be the xylophone from Nigeria. So that's what we have starting out. And then that'll be from 7 to 7:30. So we'll get started with that pretty soon. But then we're only going to have a little bit of time in between. So it's going to be a pretty quick turnover. From 7:45 to 8:15, that's going to be Natalino from Indonesia. So 7:45 is your next time slot to keep track of. And then 8:30. That's when we will have the great Winy with us live from India on the Ektara and vocals. Super excited for that. So this first musician that we have will be in just a few minutes, and I have a question for my tech team. So do I know when they've logged on?
I'll tell you.
You'll be able to, you have them in the queue beforehand?
Yeah, I have it open and I can see when they're in and I'll communicate with them in messages.
And then if y'all joined, for the people who joined, what was the first time again? The first time is 7 p.m. So coming up in 5 minutes, we'll have our first guest. So that's our first time is 7 p.m. Last time we had a live stream, we learned that Zoom has a very aggressive noise cancellation feature. And if that's not turned off, we had, I think they were on guitar, maybe acoustic guitar. We had a musician that was clearly strumming the guitar, but it turned into a ghost guitar because you see the hand move, but you couldn't hear anything. So by the magic of the internet, it had pulled all of the guitar sounds away. So hopefully when Invince Sunday joins live from Nigeria in just 4 minutes, that Zoom will not squash down. Yes, I'm very glad we're getting appreciation for a 7 p.m. start time. That's Central Time. So we work really hard to choose those good start times. So I'm glad we're getting some appreciation from that. Hopefully when Invince Sunday joins, we'll hear the beautiful resonance of his xylophones, which, by the way, Invince Sunday, so you know he's a world-class xylophone player. You know he's a world-class teacher of xylophones. Did you know he's a maker of xylophones? Oh, yeah. I'm assuming, don't quote me on this, we'll find out. I think he's going to be playing an instrument that he himself created. I don't know if he's playing one that he created, but I can tell you this. He creates his own instruments. So to be able to create your own xylophone, that's hats off. So I want to make sure we can hear the resonance and those long notes and the beautiful natural decay of the sound after it rings out into the world. But when we start off, if we see mallets going and we don't hear the beautiful sounds, then we might have to stop. We might have to have a tech intervention and try to get that sound working out. So we'll see. That's something that we have to keep an ear out for, because it's happened before for us. This is coming up in just 3 minutes is when we have our first performer. I want to hear from the audience. If you could choose any style for us to, any type of music to have on our live streams, what would you choose? This might determine, I can't say for sure, but this might determine what time we do it next time. Our next live stream, I'm not trying to make people wake up at 1 a.m. I'm not trying to make people get up at 7 a.m. and then sing instantly, get your voice ready to sing this amazing music. So drop your styles of music, drop your regions of the world that you'd like explored, and we're going to inventory all of this at the end, and we'll put it in consideration for what time would we have to start in order to feature artists from that part of the world. So we're going to take an inventory of all of that. One of the great things is we actually, in our office, we have a giant map on the back of our wall. And what's so beautiful about humans, just as a species, every inch of the globe is just covered in talent, covered in passion and the desire to express yourself. It's never, we literally can throw a dart. Actually, we're in the process of getting a map that we can throw a dart at, actually. So we're literally going to be throwing a dart at a map, a paper map. We're not sacrificing my beautiful map back there. But we never have to wonder, hey, I wonder is there any talent in that area? One of my favorite things to do, and I encourage anyone to do this, is to go online, pick a random country or even a random city or a region of the world, and just type, who is the greatest living musician in Albania, Turkmenistan, any place on the planet, and you're going to find huge talents. I have yet to come across an area of the world where we're like, well, let's just skip this part. There's not going to be anything astounding there. Always such great talent. And that's something that we, as an organization that highlights the beauty and the music from around the world, we're spoiled. Like, it's endless. You can drill into a region of the world, a country, a state, a city, and it's like if you're looking at a tree, like, look how beautiful this tree is. But then if you zoom in, well, now you see the texture of the tree. Well, then you look in and there's an ant on the tree. Well, then the ant is carrying a leaf, and on the leaf there's so much to just drill down, and it's endless. So what we do as an organization, as the World Music Foundation, is for everyone in the marketing team and the social media creation team and the outreach team, we just share with y'all what we learn. Like today, getting to hear xylophone from Nigeria, getting to hear sasando from Indonesia, getting to hear the ektara and voice from India, that's a treat for me. And I don't pretend, none of us around here pretend like we're experts in all these. I will, full disclosure, let you know that this is my first time hearing ektara live once at 8:30 p.m. tonight. And I'm through the roof about it. I'll never get over it and be jaded and, oh, it's just another instrument. This is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. So we share that as we learn it in real time. Usually on social media, I'm seeing people in YouTube, which, welcome everyone from YouTube. We're live also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow along on your platform form of choice. We are making posts and we're sharing out on TikTok all the time as well. Not so much on X, but I've been thinking maybe we should be more on X, former Twitter. If there's any platform that really needs it, really needs our cross-cultural work, it's probably respect across cultures. It's probably Twitter, so X. So maybe we'll start posting over there. We'll see. But as the people on Instagram hopefully already know, I don't know if Michigan Music Alliance listens or follows along too much to us normally, or Raga Street. Hey, Raga Street, what's going on? Raga Street caught him in the house, who makes what we do possible. Former intern who kept things going for a long time, and we're still using a lot of your great work, Raga Street. But I don't know if you follow along on Instagram, but it's constantly just us sharing what we do from what we find out here in the office. So we get together, we'll share with each other just what we've heard, what we've stumbled across on social media, and that's the kind of things that we try to share out with the world. But we also want to hear back. So I see some new people have joined. We've got people on Facebook over there. We got Twitch. I don't know if we have... Oh, I see some Twitch. Okay, good. Twitch is showing up as well. Share with me what type of music you would want us to spotlight, what type of live artist you would want us to bring in to our next Together session. And our next Together session is on July 22nd. So we'll be live again. I don't know what time, but based on your suggestions. So for people that are suggesting some things like from Latin America, that's easy. I'm liking this because then we don't have to change our time zone. Hey, hello. If it's in our time zone, we might choose different times. If it's in Europe, well then right now, 6 hours from now, what is it? Maybe 11 o'clock in a lot of Europe. We might adjust. We might adjust our start time and not stay with 6:30 start and 7 o'clock for the first performance. And speaking of 7 o'clock for the first performance, are we queued up or are we not queued up? Should I read bios or not read bios?
He hasn't joined as of yet. And unfortunately, you can't get through to him on Instagram either.
I'm not going to share a bio yet because there might be technical difficulties. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share the bio. And I'm going to share the bio just because you know how awesome this person is. And we can always read it again when they join. If they join, maybe it's not going to work out for our 7 o'clock. If it's not, we've got our 7:45 coming up. So that's fine. But I'll let you know about Invince Sunday. Invince Sunday, who could possibly be our first guest of our June Together session. What up, Jer Bayer? Welcome. And also Asana Music Therapy. Good to have you. You might get to hear this amazing musician that I'm about to read to you about. Or technology might prohibit it. It's also 1 a.m. in Nigeria. So we'll see. So Invince Sunday is a professional Nigerian drummer, percussionist, and cultural educator dedicated to preserving and celebrating traditional African music. He is the founder of Indito Umforo Aqua Ibom Cultural Troupe. It's a viral Nigerian music troupe made up of talented young performers who showcase cultural music through traditional wooden xylophones, drums, and percussions. And it's 1 a.m. over there, but we could call him because I did see his WhatsApp phone number pop up, I think, on one of the videos. So that's another way to see if we're able to get in touch. But this cultural troupe, which I won't pronounce again until I introduce him before he joins, but this troupe is done from, a lot of it is done with kids, and it's done from students, it looks like as young as like 5 years old. And what I love about it is when they're rehearsing together, when they're making music together, I find that I see videos of them and people are playing whatever they can play. So a 5-year-old is just, it's a pretty simple pattern and just repeated hits. They're doing just what they're able to do. While, of course, the advanced ones are playing, just going to town on the xylophones. But he builds these xylophones. He plays amazing. The older students play amazing. And then the young ones do what they can. And you know what? Maybe they're not always perfect because they're 5 years old. They're 7, 8, these kind of ages. But in all the videos, and we watched tons of videos of this amazing artist teaching the students, I've never seen him reprimand if somebody's off time or get mad at them. He always encourages. So even if they're getting a little sloppy, he might tell them a little bit like, hey, keep it up, but always with a smile, always with motivation in mind, and not punishment. And the results are amazing. If you see this group, we'll put in the chat, we'll spell it out so you can find the group. And on social media, we'll post about this afterwards. So if you're joining on YouTube or you're joining on Twitch, I see you out there. George, your name's cut off, unfortunately, sorry. George Hemingway. Follow on social media, and then you'll get to hear that. You'll get to hear this group. You'll see us spotlight them and share their post. But that cultural group is amazing, and it's not just a bunch of talented young performers that showcase their cultural music through, it says here, traditional wooden xylophones, drums, and percussions. But this is done, Invince is committed to this work because he wants to highlight the beauty of indigenous instruments. Now, indigenous instruments such as the xylophone, because the xylophone, newsflash, is from Africa, and he's making them himself. There's also the African pot drums and traditional percussions, while he's also keeping classic high life rhythms and aqua imbwam musical traditions alive for the new generations. Saw somebody in there was shouting out Afro beats, and this is something that gets along with high life. He's able to work in these more modern musical styles as well with this group. And I know we've made contact, and I'm going to get an update on if he'll be joining shortly or not. What is the update?
He is running into issues connecting.
Technical difficulties. Okay.
His connection seems to be having issues even over the phone call.
The connection is dropping out. So we have Invince Sunday at 1 a.m. in Nigeria doing his best to join us, but we will see if the technology allows for it. This is going to might take a little bit of tech support to find out if we can get this going, but if not, we know we have the 7:45 performance, which is Natalino. So for the people who were here for Together 25, Natalino is a Sesando player, and we're going to get to hear him at 7:45, this time live. Last time throughout the broadcast, that was pre-recorded, and now we'll get a chance to see him. And if these comments, and I see the comments coming, so shout out to all y'all. But they do, speaking of technical glitches, they do take a while to show up sometimes. Also, the screen changes, and I missed some of the comments, so sorry about that. But if you have questions, during the performance, I think you could make comments or questions, and maybe Isaac could capture some of those. We're going to try, but I want people to have the opportunity to ask questions and to interact with the host. Right now, we have the technical setup for just a Zoom between us two, but you're getting a sneak peek. We're working towards a way to have more interaction between the guest and the audience instead of me just seeing the comments. A way for the guest to possibly get that information to the artist and questions. And then also, really my goal, what people don't really know yet, is we're trying to get the artist to be able to interact. So it's the together sessions, but we're going to see if we can get the artist together with each other. So we will find out. And I'm just reading some of the comments. So yes, awesome to see you too, everybody. Great. But that's the goal. The goal is to actually, I've had an idea to say, is there a way that we could jam together across these distances? Turns out technology does not exist for this yet. But my idea has been, well, we have 3 guests on for the night. We have 4 guests on for the night. I would love if I can connect them, and now we have a Sasando player playing with the xylophone player, playing with the Ektara player. Winnie's putting her beautiful vocals on top of everything. I'm trying to figure out a way that we can get them to actually interact musically with each other. I don't think it's going to be able to happen live. If even like situations like for a 7 o'clock performance, we're still trying to beam in from Nigeria if the technology allows for it. Invince is there. He's ready to go. I see him messaging. I know Isaac's spoken with him over WhatsApp just recently. So at any moment, this tech could work out, and we could get a live performance from Invince. Invince Sunday, xylophone maker, player, teacher from Nigeria. But even if we don't, I'm cooking up an idea. Maybe after the session, we get the guest artist who were on the same together session to maybe record the same song with each other, lay down a different track with each other, or even just get them on a Zoom call with each other so they can meet each other would be great. And I see another comment coming in. Yes. So someone's asking if we're ever able to show our performances that we do in our space live. We're working on that. I was mentioning that earlier, that we do we've broadcast in the past some of our performances from the listening room live, to everybody. Usually it's just on like 1 or 2 platforms. It might just be, a lot of it really happens on Instagram. So if you're here, we have Tao, and we have the Balkan Polyphony. Hello. If you're joining there on Facebook, doesn't hurt to give a like over on Instagram. I know everybody has their own platforms that you normally use, but I think we normally use Instagram if we're going to go live. They try to sometimes do it Instagram and Facebook, but I know out of all of them, Instagram's been the one that's gone live. So, but we're still ironing that out. So we'll see. But what I was saying is that my goal is to get the musicians to be able to interact and actually meet each other and play that way. So we'll see if it happens. And then in this December, we'll do more together sessions. We know our next together session is July 22nd. We're going to do a few more. And then in December, it's not Together 25, Together 26. So I'll be live up here for 26 hours. And it looks like sneak preview. I'm seeing messages pop up. It's looking like the tech is not going to work out. Nope. Just got called. It got called. Sorry about that. So we will not be able to have Invince Sunday on there, but yes, it is live and it will upload onto the social medias. I don't know if the whole thing's going to upload to social medias, but definitely there'll be clips. So for the person who's asking, it's going to be we're going to make highlights and clips. If you haven't seen, and actually I know you haven't seen because it's not even live to the public yet. It's a first draft. But for Together 25, you can go to theworldmusicfoundation.org/Together 25-recap. And that's where that's going to be. So it's not going to be a full upload of all 3 hours of content probably onto social medias, but it's going to be clips and recaps from the events. So that's likely what we're going to do for this one. So since Invince has been pulled and is not going to be able to join, then I wonder, so how many people do we have here? We have 1, 2. I wish I could play along with the audience, but I think there's a delay. I'd love to. We played a music game last time, and we were able to get feedback from the audience to guess and to name songs. But I don't know. We're ironing out the tech. You know what? I just had a realization. The tech problem might have been from our side. We might be the ones with the bad internet connection, which I hope it works out for Natalino. We're going to find out. This is uncharted territory. When we plugged in the LAN cable, which should have made it faster, it actually made it slower today. So we're going to find out. So because of that lag, I'm not feeling like I'm getting quick enough response because I'm seeing people writing responses in the comments to things that I said like a while ago. So probably not going to be able to play a direct game back and forth with the audience, unfortunately. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I am going to tell you that because of our last event, it was about narrative storytelling. Well, guess what? Because of technical difficulties, we don't have a first artist. So I am going to tell you a story. So I'm going to ask Isaac a topic for a story, because actually somebody, if you have a question, I'm not seeing any of the comments right now. I'm seeing myself though. How's it going? If someone has a question they want to ask or a prompt, I'm going to try to remember what I learned from this storytelling workshop and tell a story. And here is the topic that I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to tell you about the time. I'll tell you about the time that how I got into music. Wondering if because usually have great signal strength and YouTube is freezing. Uh-oh. We're getting notes that YouTube is freezing, so it might be from our side indeed. That would be bogus. But we can control only what we can control. So I will tell you about the career path that how unlikely it was that I got into starting this nonprofit in the first place. So when I was in high school, I just was doing an internship, which Ragashri, there you go. See, I was doing an internship also, and an internship changed my life, but not in the business side. Hopefully, we had a good influence on you, Rugastry. But my internship, I loved. I thought it was an awesome internship. I was working for a software company. You are not watching a live stream of somebody who's just talking about software. You're talking to somebody who lives day and night about music and about cultures. But how did this software internship lead to me dedicating my life to music? Well, this internship went to different departments throughout the company, and it was a huge software company. It probably is still one of the biggest, but at the time it was the fourth largest software company in the world. And I'd go from department to department, and they made it very clear that they never hire anybody who's an intern. I was working in, I wish I could remember my manager's name. He was awesome. But I was working in reprographics. So digitizing things, making copies. And I'd finish the work and I'd ask for more work. So he would keep giving me work and things to do. But eventually they would just run out of work and he'd say, just kill time on the internet or something. So on the internet, I just started searching for like some of my favorite bands and like trying to find out. Summer was coming up. So I said, well, where are all these bands playing? Are any of them coming to Houston? I was living in Houston at the time. And I started looking into these bands, and all of these bands had a tour date. Not all of them came to Houston, but they all had a tour date in a tiny town called Cadott, Wisconsin. I looked up Cadott, Wisconsin, and it's like 10,000 people total in the whole town population. How are they getting Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin? How are they getting Leonard Skinner? How are they getting Paul Simon and all these musicians that I wanted to hear? Turns out there was a festival called Rockfest that was happening in Cadott, Wisconsin. When I found that out, I said, well, I'm driving to Cadott, Wisconsin. I'm in Houston. That's like probably a 19 or 22-hour drive, something like that. So I'm making a plan. I'm in high school doing this internship, and man, we sold car washes. We got together as friends and we did a car wash. We just went to a random fast food restaurant, I think like a Burger King or something. And we said, hey, we want to raise some money and do a car wash. And they never asked what like nonprofit or group we were with. We were just raising money for our own road trip, but they still let us do it. So we were washing cars and we made money. We did everything we could to raise money. And right as we were about to go on the trip, it was about a month before that, I got offered a job at that software company. And they had made it very clear that nobody gets offered a job at this company. So I had a decision to make. Do I stay on and work for the fourth largest software company in the world? Or do I go on a road trip to Cadott, Wisconsin? Well, everybody, of course, the right, quote unquote, right decision is to work for the fourth largest software company in the world, get in, good paying job, career path. I obviously chose to do the road trip to Cadott, Wisconsin. But what it turns out, on that road trip, we didn't have money for even hotels. We were staying in the car, and we were eating just like cans of beans and like whatever we could do, just anything to get by. Well, whenever we would sleep in the car, we would want a safe place to sleep. So we actually went to the parking lots of 24-hour Walmarts. So we looked up where are all the 24-hour Walmarts, which I don't think there's any of the Walmarts are 24 hours anymore, I think. But some used to be the super centers, and they were only 24 hours in the large cities because that's who would have enough business to keep them open 24 hours. So we would do the routing, and we had such small amount of money. I was calculating the gas like to the dollar. I was estimating the times because I wanted to make sure that we would get certain places during the day, and then that we were driving through like kind of the boring parts of the country at night. So I didn't know it, but years later, instead of me passing up this amazing career opportunity, what seemed like a complete waste of time as far as careers go to do this road trip, that actually ended up being the best career training because fast forward, we did the trip. It was awesome. We saw all these bands. It was a 4-day concert. We were camping out. Lots of great times, great memories came from it. And then I went on to college and was just living life. Well, I took a break from college, or no, it was just the summer of my junior year of college, and I'd been driving around the country and just experiencing different parts of the United States, and I ended up in Chicago, and I wanted to get a job. I had part-time jobs for quite a while, and then I was going to leave. I quit all my jobs. I was going to drive somewhere else. Well, my sister found out that she was having her first child, a son, and I just quit my jobs. I was planning to leave, but I can't leave now. I want to see my nephew being born. So I said, well, let me get another job to stay in Chicago. So this time, the first jobs that I got were the quick and easiest, whatever the fastest jobs I can get. Not easiest, but easiest to get. I would do manual labor. I was photographing high-end cars for a luxury car dealership. I was doing phone sales, like anything, just to make money, to be able to just enjoy Chicago and visit. Well, now that I had a clean slate and I knew I was going to be there at least for 9 months, I went to get another job. Well, I said, this time I'm going to look for music jobs. And good old Craigslist. I answered a job posting in Craigslist, and it said, I think it was like music booking or something. And I was like, I've done phone sales. I love music. Let me do this thing. Musician answers the phone, and he asked me, he said, well, where do you live? And I told him what part of Chicago. He said, how far is that from, and he told me his streets. I said, well, it's about 20 minutes on the train. He said, well, I'll see you in 30 minutes. I was like, well, okay. It was like 9 o'clock at night. But I was like, let's do this thing. So I went over there. I show up, and this musician is sitting there with his computer open. He doesn't even ask my name, honestly. He says, I'm booked here, here, and here. Where should I book in between? He had a Mac open. At the time, I didn't have a Mac. I had my laptop, and I said, can I use my laptop to just think about this for a little bit? He said, yeah, sure. I pulled open the same spreadsheets, the same calculators, the same map programs that I planned my road trips with, the same one that took me to Kadott, Wisconsin. And I figured out, well, you know what? Where these 24-hour Walmarts are, they're the bigger towns, but also they're good areas for shows because there's usually colleges in that area. I asked him what type of music he played and what his audiences normally are. And I just started routing it like I was on that trip going from Houston to Kadott, Wisconsin for a rock fest. And I told him, I said, well, I'd probably go here and here. So this is a little bit out of the way, but I really think you're going to have a better chance of getting booked in this area. And he looked at me and he said, well, that makes sense. He said, well, do you want to come back tomorrow? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And by this time, it's like 11 o'clock at night or something. And we set a time for me to come back. And he said, well, you probably won't come back, but if you do, come back at 8 a.m. So I'll be here. And I came back. Next day, I did my work. He ended the day with, well, you probably won't come back. But if you do, come back at 8 a.m. I'll be here. Kept going on like that. About 3 days into it, he said, you keep coming back. I was like, I told you I'll be here. I said, I love this. If it's planning music, count me in. And he said, well, what's your name? 3 days later, he finally asked my name. Well, that musician ended up being an artist that I worked with for many years, learned so much from him. But I never would have gotten that job. I never would have been able to, on the fly, do that routing if I wouldn't have walked off of the job that everybody said I should jump at, started the career that everybody said was the one that would be so important for my life for me to work in. I did a road trip to Cadott, Wisconsin, and that silly road trip is why now I run the World Music Foundation. Now I have, I think it was 11 years of road stories from leading tours all over the planet. We used to circle the globe. We used to leave from the U.S. We used to leave out from the West Coast and come back via the East Coast 2 times a year. It was 180 days on the road. A lot of traveling. All those calculations came from that experience. We've only got 10 minutes until Natalino joins us, but I'm just thinking about these stories, so I'm gonna tell you one more. So you can tell from the gray hair. Okay, I'm not a spring chicken. I've been around a while. So I remember having physical maps. Okay, physical maps. Doing tours and having to get place to place with maps. Well, even after I have smartphones and this sort of thing, the phones wouldn't work at that time in all these different countries. You'd have to get SIM cards whenever you land in different countries. Well, one of the first tours that I'm leading through Australia, we're going through like 4 different states in Australia. It's probably like 6,000 miles just in Australia. Then we fly to New Zealand. We're mainly around Auckland, around there. Then we fly from Auckland to Singapore. We're in Singapore for, I think, 3 days. From Singapore to Hong Kong. Hong Kong to India. India back to the U.S. I've planned everything out. I have my laptop, but when I'm driving, I need to make notes with all the contact informations for who I'm going to call, my contacts at each venue. I also need the driving directions are the most important thing. So I've got them saved in my phone so I'm not trying to flip through these papers and all this. And I have my schedule. Everything's all in my phone. And I'm like, technology, this is fantastic. Not all these stacks of papers which would get blown around or we'd spill stuff on it. One time I had hot sauce. It was not the World Music Foundation hot sauce because this, what did the review earlier today say? Like society changing condiment, I think something. This didn't exist, but we were in Wyoming or some U.S. state that's super cold, and I left my hot sauce in the car on top of my directions. And in the morning, I went outside to find out that the bottle had exploded and there was hot sauce all over my directions. And I hurried to clean it up. We're off to the first gig. And then I wiped my eyes and I had hot sauce in my eyes and I'm trying to drive. That was terrible. But these paper directions just are not cutting it when we have this huge international tour. So I was so excited. Everything was in my phone. And I've been bragging about it too. I'm like, man, watch this. It's going to be so easy this time. I have the phone numbers, the times, everything, driving distances, all in my phone. We land the first location. We actually fly into Cairns, Australia, and we're driving all the way to Melbourne. And if anyone's watching from Australia, I know you've never done that drive because that's insane. Nobody does that drive. But that was our tour routing. So we land at the airport. I drop the artist off to to get the bags, and I go to pick up the rental car. I pick up the rental car. I drive out in front of. I told the person, "Come out, meet me." The phones don't work yet. We can't coordinate. I have to pick them up, then go to a cellular store and get a new SIM card for that country. But we coordinated to say, step outside on the curb, and then I'll come around and get you once I get the car. Well, he steps out from the airport. He can't go to the curb because just the way the thing's set up, there's taxis only are able to come right up to the curb. So he would have to come out, cross the taxi line, and then come to me. Well, he has all these big instruments. There's Indian classical instruments. So there's a big sitar case, and there's tabla, and there's all this. So I see him. I make eye contact. I have to figure out how to get from the outside lane in this airport to where he is, cross the taxi line. But what do I do with my car in the meantime? So I'm stressed. Am I going to get a ticket? I'm in a new country. I don't know what the rules are. Am I going to get in trouble for leaving my car there, or just road rage for me blocking the road? But I'm thinking about it, and I see him. I'm like, there's not that many taxis in the taxi lane. I can just put my car, the rental car, I'll put it in park, but I'll put the hazards on so people will know, don't hit my car. I'll run over there, grab the instruments, load them up, get the artist. We'll be off on our way. I'm like, I can do this so quickly. I'm not going to get a ticket or get in trouble. I'm like, it's going to work out. All I was thinking is how to cross all that traffic, get the artist and the instruments. What I was not thinking about when I jumped out of my seat was that my cell phone with all of the tour information, all of the contact information was sitting in my lap. And I saw my cell phone fly through the air, land on the ground. And I think, oh no, I'm going to have a cracked screen for this whole tour. Because I look at it and it didn't seem that broken. A little bit of a crack. But I'm still bummed. I'm like, this is the worst thing that could happen. Turns out it wasn't the worst thing that could happen. Because as I was leaning down to pick it up, I still have a vision in my head. I'm finishing getting out of the car, and I'm about to turn down and start picking it up. And then the airport shuttle comes and rolls over my phone into 1 billion pieces. It is no longer a phone. It is just shrapnel, completely useless piece of litter in the world. It was not a phone at that point. Everything, every connection, every contact information, every direction for this entire 4-country tour is completely gone. And that's how I started my first Australian tour. I think it was my first time touring. It was my second time touring in Australia, thankfully, but the first time touring in Hong Kong and Singapore. And it was a nightmare. It was horrible. So I had to just make do. I don't even know how I did it. I know we never missed a gig, because in 11 years of touring all over the world, we never missed a gig, except one time. We didn't just no show. We were in touch the whole time, but there was such bad traffic in Ontario, Canada. It took us 2.5 hours to arrive late to the gig. We left with an hour and a half to get there, but the traffic was so bad that we just called the show and we said we can't do it. I still feel bad about that, but we came back and did the show another time. So that's a little bit of the road drama that happened. So it gives me a new appreciation and a full appreciation for being based right here in one city in Chicago. And it's a lot easier in so many ways to run a nonprofit when you have a physical a physical base like this. But it's a lot harder to reach amazing people like you and amazing people like our guest, Natalino. I'm getting excited. Y'all can't see it yet, but we have the man himself here. So he's queued up. So I'll introduce about this artist, and then we'll get to hear him for a while. As I've mentioned a few times, we got to hear recordings of him during Together 25, and now we get a chance to hear him live, and we'll get a chance to speak a little bit. He'll perform, 15, 20 minutes somewhere in there, and then we'll talk afterwards. But here's the thing about our guest. Natalino Mella is a professional musician. He's a YouTube creator and an instrument maker from Indonesia, which he's so good to join us this early in the morning. Thank you for that. It's 7:45 over here, but I know it's not even 9 in the morning over there in Indonesia. But he's dedicated to sharing the beauty of the sasando with the world. The sasando is a traditional Indonesian string instrument, often described as a harp-like tube zither, made with a central tube surrounded by strings and a resonator, traditionally crafted from woven dried palms. Natalino not only performs on the sasando, but also helps preserve and promote the instrument by building them himself. It's incredible. Thus making him part of a small group of artists keeping this remarkable tradition alive. So we have with us someone who represents and maintains this amazing tradition. We want to welcome him to our June Together session, Natalino Mella. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I've got you in full effect here in the studio, getting feedback. It's like a nice special effect. So fantastic. Thank you, man, so much for joining. Oh, what a beautiful instrument. I can't wait to speak with you, but I definitely want to turn over the floor to you to perform for our audience. And I'm going to sit back just as a fan and listen.
Can you hear my wait?
We're going to do it.
Can you hear my music clearly?
Yes, I can. And I am so thankful that I can. That sounds beautiful. Great.
Recording in progress.
Great is thy faithfulness. Is that the
Yes,
song?
yes, yes.
Fantastic.
This is a traditional song from Indonesia. We call it Ovalanga.
Lino. Taking me to church.
Yeah.
Yes. Loving it. Wow. Thank you so much. Incredible. Wow. So, obviously, I'm going to say your faith has influenced your music making from the way you're playing. It's not just academic for you. I can hear the emotions in there. So, how has your faith influenced your playing?
Uh, I think I love to play this music firstly, but during my time play it, I I, I think I have to make some impact with my faith. So uh, I try to play more gospel song when I play, and I it's expressing my feeling through my faith. Yes, I
I
think.
can I can hear it, and I have to ask. So, Amazing Grace, when you played that one, um, you bent a note. Is that
Yes.
something that is done traditionally with this instrument, or did you choose to bend because of the feeling of that song to match that song?
Yeah, in the traditional because before this version we have the traditional one. It only have 9 until 12 strings, and it's the scale is only pentatonic scale, so we cannot do anything more with that instrument. So I developed this instrument, and I put some tricks in here, so yeah, we can do the bending, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't just adapt how it's played, you adapted the actual physical instrument so that you
Yes.
can play it with the emotion that you wanted.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. Could you explain a little of what we're seeing here? So those for tuning that we're seeing with the triangle shaped wooden pieces on the strings, is that for tuning?
This is the bridge. We call it in our language is this a senda. This is a bridge for the strings. We can. This is movable, so you
Okay.
can just adjust
Hmm.
the bridge. If you want to tune, you have to tune here.
Hmm.
This is the dryer, the tuning packs. You can use this tools, and then you can adjust the note
Got
with
it.
this in here.
So the ones on top actually adjust the
Yeah.
tension of the strings, and the bridge can be moved for different scales, but
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
those are set while you play. Wow, beautiful. And what is the resonant resonator that I see on the outside? What is that made of?
This is made from palm leaves. We can just open and close this.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And
Yeah.
what's
If
the
you
difference between fully closed and fully open?
in the past, this is function for the vibration, for the volume. So
Mm,
they don't have any pickup or inside, so they play it manually. So if you want to make it a bigger sound, you have to open the lid.
wow. Man, that is awesome. So cool.
Yes.
And now you have the electronic pickup
Yeah.
that goes
Digital tuner also.
and a
Yeah.
tuner. Oh, fantastic. Super awesome. So we share the same faith. Obviously, you're Christian because I can name every single one of those songs that you played.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about so the songs that you played. Correct me if I'm wrong. Great is Thy faithfulness, Amazing Grace, It is well with my
Yes.
soul, He
Yes.
leadeth
Abide
me,
with me. She lead with me, yeah, she lead with me, yes.
Blessed Assurance, and What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Yep.
Come on, great. Now the one I was not familiar with, you told me the name, Afalanga.
Yeah.
Could you tell me
That's
about this
traditional.
song? What is the topic? Are there lyrics to that song, or is it set to a
Oh,
certain mood or meaning?
yeah. The song tell a story about a couple. The man one lives in the another island, so he miss his wife, and then he create a song to express uh, how he missed her because they never meet for a long time.
Oh wow, great. That's why, without understanding the lyrics, what a relatable emotion to come through to miss somebody that way. Wow. So that's Afalanga. Great. How did you first start playing this instrument?
Oh, in 2008, there's so little people that want to play this instrument because uh, we only have the traditional one, the shapes, the model. So I think I want to make something different. After I come back from Japan, I perform there, and I think I have to rebuild this instrument to make it something different, something better. So the youngster and the people, if they see this instrument that I make, they want to play this instrument because nobody want to play this instrument in 2008
Hmm.
because the shapes of it. We don't have the palm leaves that can open and close. The palm leaves only open because they use a whole partial of the leaf, so it cannot be adjusted to open and close. So we try to find a way so this is can be open and closed, so we can also bring it to traveling more easily in hard case. Because if we don't change the leaf, it will be big like this, and it's so difficult to travel with the instrument. So
Wow.
also we made the leaves, and we changed some part of uh, the instrument, like we used to use bamboo for the tube, and
Mm.
then we try to use another materials. This one is acrylic.
Mm.
So yeah, we try many things, and then we come with this result. And also I have some variant that have more premium materials.
Mm.
We use different materials. We use a resin. We use many things. So when people see this instrument, they think this instrument is very interesting, and they want to learn it. That's our purpose. That's my purpose.
You are succeeding at your purpose, Natalino. That is such an exciting, just such a beautiful instrument too, man. Just so beautiful. And I can, I'm just floored by how much iteration and um, adaptation you've done to this instrument. I had no idea how, I guess I'll just say, advanced this version is compared to the traditional kind. The way you open and close that resonator is amazing. I love that, and it makes sense. I could not imagine trying to bring around an instrument with that always open giant palm
Yeah.
leaf without it getting. It's amazing how the functionality and just the real life, modern life of a musician can influence so many aspects of an instrument. Wow. So when you say you made these changes, I mean, is it physically with your hands? You put in an order for somebody to do these? Like, are you able to, do you physically work on these yourselves, like with your hands?
No, I just check the finishing part of this instrument. I have some wooden craft. They made it for me, so I just draw, and then I tell them that I want to use this, and this, and then I check everything so it will be precisely like what I want. So yeah,
And then you try it out. You acrylic doesn't expand with the humidity
yes,
and change, so you try different iterations of it. You design it and draw it out,
yeah.
and try each version of it. That is, how do you develop this skill alongside this amazing musical skill that you have? It's like what came first? What how are they related?
Oh, I study architecture in college, so I have some knowledge
Yes.
about the measurement, the everything. So yeah, yeah, I draw in a program, so I draw its details, so they will make it precisely like what I want.
Love it. Wow. So when did you first get into music? Any type of music as far as playing?
I think in high school,
Wow.
yeah, I start with guitar first,
Mm.
classical guitar. So yeah, after that I expand to piano and else. Then I found this, and I think I can make something with this instrument. Yeah.
So that's where the gap is for me. So you you've helped me understand why you have this amazing knowledge of material science and design and artistry to design. And now you've filled in the earlier side where you first started getting involved in music, acoustic guitar, eventually piano. If nobody wants to play this instrument in 2008, why is Natalino seeing this instrument, starting to play it, realize you can make a better version of it? What was it about this instrument that even caught your attention? And why did you, instead of thinking, oh yeah, no one wants to play it, neither do I, here comes the piano or whatever else, why dedicate yourself to reviving this entire instrument?
Okay. Yeah. That's back to the story that I told. When I go to Japan, I brought the traditional one, and I play there, and the response of the people there is so amazed. They ask me, they want to know what is it, they want to learn about it. So I think that if people outside Indonesia want to know about this instrument, why I can change the mind of people in my country itself to learn about it. So yeah, that's motivate me to come with idea and make it better for everyone. Yeah.
Wow. So you saw in the instrument that it had the power to, in effect, build respect towards your culture and represent your culture. And you said, well, now let's make it the best instrument possible to be
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yes.
Wow. That is dedication. Thank you for that. So, how, for people who are watching and they are inspired to get a hold of one of these instruments, to how would they order from you? Do you sell online?
Oh, I sell online on Etsy. They
Mm.
can check on indonesiaharp.etsy.com. Indonesia without N, indonesiaharp.etsy.com.
indonesiaharp.etsy.com.
.com.
Great. We'll put that in the chats on all the platforms also, so that they know about that. Wow, I love it. Could you? So you went to Japan for music. Um, so you're obviously an advanced player even by the time you're going there to play.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you for many people have been the introduction to Indonesian music? So you are the memory for a lot of people for their first exposure to your culture through music. Can you think of either a time that stands out or maybe even the first time you heard music from outside of your own culture?
I think I hear many music outside my culture. I forget the name of the instrument. So I always scroll to find the new instrument in this world. So I found many instruments, and I'm happy to see the people that introduce their own culture with their music. And yeah,
So you spend
I
time
love, I
actively
love
looking
to,
for that online.
yes.
I love it. You're our people, Natalino. You're exactly we're a perfect match for each other. We're passionate about that, and we try to be that space where people can find new instruments, new cultures to them that they can fall in love with. And I think you're that for many people. You've just introduced a lot of people to this amazing instrument. I've loved it. I really appreciate you taking the time to share it with us. We'll stay in touch. We're going to post about your instruments. I'm sure we'll be in touch for other projects and other things to do together. But I've loved having you on this June Together session. Thank you so much for your time and for everything you're doing to preserve that amazing instrument that you shared with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Isaac.
Yes, take care. See you.
See
Bye.
you.
Wow. That that was a blast. Like that was so many layers of taking in how much this person has done, and to find out that his whole reason for putting so much work into preserving this instrument and this art form is for exactly what we're doing here today. It's coming together and bringing people together. He saw that there was a big response from outside of his culture when he demonstrated his traditional instruments, but he found ways that it could be improved so that he can travel more, he can go further, and he's always traveling. He's going all over the world, sharing his music and his message, and sharing his faith. That's amazing to hear of how he chooses alongside how to promote his culture. He also shares his faith convictions, and so much of that resonates across cultures that it's able to hear. I'm seeing the comments now, and yes, that is right. There's we had people calling out the names. We had people who knew some of these, and we have a callback to our society changing condiment. That was great to see too. So amazing. So we have, for people keeping track of the schedule, we have coming up here at 8:30, Winnie Roy. Very excited to meet her in person here via the live stream, and this is going to take us to another part of the world. So we're leaving Indonesia and we're on our way to India, and that's going to start in just 10 minutes. We have Winnie starting at 8:30, but that I've seen a lot of, not improvisations, a lot of modernizations. That's what it is. I've seen a lot of modernizations to instruments for someone who works in a traditional musical space. I've seen a lot of modernization to traditional instruments, and I gotta say, seeing what he's done with the sasando is such a transformation, but keeping so much of the things that define it, and so much of the essence of the instrument. It's beautiful. I'm amped to go on indonesiaharp.etsy.com, just like we have in the messages there. Man, we got Neil Chan music in the house. Big shout out to Neil Chan. I love your channel, man. I don't know if anyone here from the World Music Foundation has ever reached out to you, but to tell you that, but I love what you do. It's been many a time where I'll turn around to the team and I'll say, dig on this thing that I just heard, and it's your video and your thought provoking questions too. So our next together session is July 22nd. Maybe DM us, Neil Chan, if you're interested in being on that, or any musicians tuning in right now, because of course we never know exactly who's in the audience. My comment aggregator, my attendee name list isn't always dependable. So if you send a message and I'm not able to respond in real time, we're going to go back through and I'll respond to all the comments directly tomorrow, sometimes after the show. Probably not tonight because it'll be 9:00 for us, but I'll get back to everybody afterwards. But yeah, beautiful. I really loved that. And I'm going to hope that our connection held out. So did everybody hear that as well as I could hear it? I got lost in the moment. I wasn't checking anything to do with technology. At that moment, I wasn't on stage. I wasn't even on a live stream. I was sitting in the room with Natalino. Like I felt so connected. I felt like he was performing for me, and I hope y'all felt the same way. I hope that it felt like he was performing for you, because he was. The musicians that take the time out to join sessions like this, it comes from a passion of wanting to share, just like he shares and goes around the world to show and to preserve the beauty of that instrument and what he was playing. He's putting his actions behind it by just joining a live stream like this. And I'm seeing some comments that, yes, it came through fine. It came through very good. Connection has stabilized. That is awesome. We had a little bit of technical difficulties for anyone who just joined. You did not miss our xylophone performance from Nigeria this morning, or this evening, 7 p.m. Chicago time, because unfortunately Invince Sunday was queued up and ready to join, and he tried, and technology didn't allow for it. So I'm sure we'll have him back on another session. I don't know if it'll be July 22nd. That is our next together session will be July 22nd. I don't know if Invince Sunday will be on that one, but one of these coming up, we'll have them. And I'm sure we'll also spotlight on our social medias. If you're joining on YouTube or Twitch, pick a platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and follow us on there. We'll do clips from this show. We'll do highlights about these artists outside of this show, just things that they have going on. Once an artist is on a together session, whether it's the big Together 25, Together 26, where we do 25-hour live streams, or we do 26-hour live streams, they're just going to get longer and longer as the years go by. This was Together 25, and in 2026, December is going to be Together 26. Or if you're on the together sessions like this for the 2-hour, 3-hour, around that range broadcast, you're part of the family. You're part of the World Music Foundation family from that point on. We want to stay in touch. We want to keep promoting these artists. So if you're loving these artists, and I know you are, the listeners and viewers, follow along. If whatever platform you're watching on now, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching from YouTube or Twitch, then follow us on one of those social platforms, and you'll hear more about these artists and more amazing artists. Just like Natalino spends his time surfing the web, searching different platforms, going through YouTube, and just trying to discover new music. That's what we want to be for you. We want to be a destination to connect you with your new favorite artist, maybe from the other side of the globe. So continue to follow along. Now, it's almost 8:30. I'm getting so excited because we have Winnie Roy about to join. Winnie Roy is joining from India and I believe from Kolkata. So I believe West Bengal. I'm going to introduce about Winnie Roy, and I'm going to hope our technology is holding out and that she's able to get queued up correctly without some interruptions. So I'm going to trust that that's the case, and I'm going to just go into the bio, knowing that 8:30 we should have her on the live stream, which is in just a few minutes. So Winnie Roy is a dedicated regional folk singer and musician from India who champions traditional and regional folk culture. She is celebrated for keeping the legacy of the ektara, which is a traditional one-stringed instrument, alive by blending it with Sufi, modern, and multilingual fusion sounds through her band Winy Live and Loud. That's her band. And we have her beaming in, and I see Winnie right there. Fantastic. Hello. How are you doing? Apni ko manachin. So, 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 I'm baloache. So, I've you're cutting out some. I hope your noise reduction's not on, but um, I've been fortunate to go to India at least 10 times, 10, 11, 12 times something. And a lot of the time is spent around Kolkata. So I have some barely survival Bengali. I can, Katodam is going to be, you have to get that part straight. Katodor and how much does it cost? How far is it? Those kind of things. I can do just barely survival. But then as soon as we go to Delhi or somewhere else, no, I got nothing. I don't know any I don't know any Hindi. So which I should learn. But awesome to have you on the live stream. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm going to just sit back. I'm going to put myself on mute and we'll just get to listen to you make music.
Sure, this is my
Look at that. Ektara, great.
So, I'll share a few songs in different languages. So I may not be able to sing in every languages because we don't know every languages and don't know don't that much of time. So I don't know all of them, but I'll sing with them, the ones I do know.
Great.
So at first I'll sing Bengali song, Bengali baul, folk, actually. So, am I audible?
Recording in progress.
কিছুদিন মনে মনে ঘরের কোণে কিছুদিন মনে মনে কিছুদিন মনে মনে This is a Bengali folk. Thank you. And then I'll sing a Nepali song, but I will not use this instrument because Nepali song is a different tune. So I will use this. This is dubki. It's the leather and it's the wood. So I'll start.
One second, that we're not hearing that for some reason. Is maybe the noise canceling? Let's see. Play a little bit again.
This is it's okay now.
I can hear you speaking, but could you play the instrument again? The percussion? I'm not hearing that for some reason.
You can't hear this.
No, wow, it must be noise canceling or something. It's silent somehow. It's a ghost instrument. I'm not hearing that now either.
So what can I do?
I will. Isaac sent you a screenshot in the messages. So he will, if you can see that, see if that'll help. There's another one he sent. You can see if that's helpful. Do we know the specific setting that might be causing it, Isaac?
Yeah, it's microphone mode.
Microphone mode. Where is it?
Yeah, which might look different for you, but. Isaac sending a message. Original sound for musicians.
There is no option.
For original sound for musicians, huh? Under microphone mode.
Where is it? I can't see this, the microphone mode. Settings.
Can you click that? And can you click that like you just clicked, Isaac, and then send a screenshot?
Hello?
Yeah, we're going to send a screenshot of how we can get to it. Maybe you don't have that option. We'll find out.
Yeah, I saw this, but now this is...
Hey, I can hear that. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, it built the excitement. So exciting. Now we get to hear it. Kavata. Great. Yes.
Okay. So I will sing a Nepali song and use this. Next, now I'll sing a Rajasthani folk. It's called Chaudhary. You know Rajasthani language? You know Bengali, right? That's why I. 2 lines. तिलक सब झेली रे मोसन नाम लैके छाप तिलक सब झेली रे मोसन नाम लैके नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके छाप तिलक सब झेली रे मोस नैना मिलाइके छाप तिलक सब झेली रे मोस नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके नैना मिलाइके. So this is Sufi, and then I will sing a song from Tamil Nadu. So I only use the tanpura. Then this is a soft melodious, the melody song. வசீகரா என் அஞ்சனிகா உன் புணவடியே துங்கினல் போதுமதே கலம் எ கண்ணுரங்கா முஞ்சன மகளின் ஏக்கங்கால் தேருமனா நேசிப்படும் சுவாசிப்படும் உந்தயவாத்தானே யங்ககிரிங் யங்ககிரிங் உந்தயவால் நாடேனா அலைமறை வரும் நதில் அனைவோமே குளிர் காய்ச்சலோர் ஸ்நேகம் ஒக்குத்தருவருக்குள் இரு தூக்கம் குழு குழு பைகள் சொல்லி எல்லை பெல்பை அந்த தேரிந்த குரங்கே மரமது ஏதன் இருதிர்பர்க்கும் இங்கேயும் போகாமல் தினம் தேக்கலையே நீ வேணும் நில சமய விளையாட்டாய் உடுவாதாய் வேல் மகேதுக்கம். This is the Hindi version of this song. जरा जरा बहकता है महकता है आज तो मेरा तन बदन मैं प्यासी हूँ मुझे भर ले अपनी बाहों में है मेरी कसम मुझको सनम दूर कहीं ना जा ये दूरी कहती है पास मेरे आजा रे आजा रे आजा रे आजा रे.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're joining from.
And hello everyone, and my name is Winy from Kolkata, India. So I'm the lead vocalist of my band Winy Live and Loud. This is a multilingual regional folk fusion band. Through my music, I mean our music, we explore and perform traditional songs from different regions and blend them with folk fusion, Sufi, and contemporary elements. So I also perform with my daughter, my Iktara, which is very close to my heart, my musical identity. It's lovely to be part of this station, and thank you for selecting me. Thank you so much.
Well, of course, it's such an honor. What is something people might not know about the musical traditions that you draw from?
Uh, One thing many people may not realize is that folk music is not just entertainment. It carries stories, emotions, history, and the voice of ordinary people. So many regional songs are so slowly disappearing over time. So through our work, my work, I try to keep these traditions alive while presenting them in a way that today's audience can connect with.
Beautiful. So, how do you balance then the traditions with your own style?
Uh, for me, tradition is the root and personal style is the expression. I always try to preserve the soul and authenticity of the original music, obviously, while adding my own interpretation through arrangements, live energy, and the fusion elements. So I believe tradition should evolve without losing its identity.
Hmm. That's it takes a talent to do that. That's wonderful. So this event, it's called the Together Sessions. What is that word together? What does that mean for you as an artist?
To me, together means connection beyond language and region and background also. The music creates a space where people feel emotions together, even if they speak different languages. As an artist, I feel that every performance becomes meaningful when hearts connect.
That's
That you say,
everything.
কেমন আছো in Bengali.
Yes. That's everything that we stand for as an organization. Exactly what you're doing. So, have you ever had that experience yourself? Like, have you ever connected with someone across language or cultural barriers through music?
Yes, absolutely. Since our band, we perform multilingual folk music. So I have often experienced audience singing along, smiling or becoming emotional, even when they did not understand the lyrics. Those moments remind me that music is truly universal. It reaches people through emotion before language.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You proved that with your vast knowledge of languages, of music, the way you've shared all of this, the beauty from all the different regions really came through, Winnie. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing your talents and your time with us. It's been amazing to have you on these Together sessions. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm pleasure. Thank you.
We'll stay in touch. Take care.
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Wow. And at 7 in the morning. That type of talent that early in the morning, that's mind boggling for me. To have the fingers going, to have the brain working, to have the voice all tuned up and ready to go that early in the morning over there. That was incredible. And I love, again, another artist that has that mission behind what she does. And that's what I mean about these Together sessions, that it connects us with artists, people that want to connect with you. They have you in mind when they're joining this session. We're just the vehicle for it, but they want to reach you, the audience, with their culture. And we're finding so many artists that have a passion for specifically reaching outside of their culture. It starts within. She performs in India in different parts, but for every audience, she's bringing in so many different regions of styles and bringing in the Sufi language, Tamil, Hindi, Nepalese, to be able to represent so many different styles and connect them in that way. I mean, that takes a passion. It's so much easier to speak your own regional dialect, stick with that, perform for people locally, which is wonderful. But it just seems more and more we're getting connected with people that have that same heart and mission that we're so passionate about, of bringing their culture out into other cultures, to give that exposure and learn from them, and to create these fusion sounds while also holding on to the tradition. I think from these performances today, I'm in awe of how people can do things that are so forward thinking and advancing musical styles, advancing musical, even the instruments themselves, but holding on to the tradition that it's rooted in. It takes such skill to do that, and such a dedication to be able to do that. So I thank all of y'all for attending, for being here for our June 2026 Together session. Our next one is July 27th. We're going to wrap up now, but I want to say thank you to our viewers on Instagram. Thank you to our viewers on Facebook. Thank you to our viewers on YouTube. Thank you to our viewers on Twitch. Again, Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you, like and subscribe on wherever you're watching live from, but get on over to the social media platform of your choice, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Like us over there so we can stay in touch. We can bring more experiences like this, be the first to know about it, but also you'll hear more from Winy. Winy Roy, from Natalino Mella. We're going to hear again from Invince Sunday when we have him back on. It's going to be on our social medias that we first announce about that. So we'll see you out there. We'll see you in the comments. We have a weekly music quiz where on Wednesdays we give you we set up a trivia so you can guess what instrument we're describing. And then on Fridays, we get custom videos from amazing artists all over the world, and they reveal that for our audience. You can play along with us on that weekly. The next event coming up, well, we know we have July 22nd. We have our next Together session like this that anyone across the world can attend, for people that want to come to the World Music Foundation in person. Our next event is on the 27th of June. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And that's going to be to share community storytelling open mic. So you can come with the story, or you can come with just being open to listening and being a supportive audience member for people who are telling their stories. When you reserve your seat, all of our events are free, but when you reserve your seat, let us know if you plan to share a story or if you're just planning to be an audience member. But both are welcome. And I'm going to say, unfortunately, we've decided not to broadcast that one live because people are going to be sharing their personal stories, and we'll keep it to the people in the room. But for future events, we will be broadcasting live, probably on these same platforms, but definitely on Instagram. That's probably the platform we use the most, that you can attend virtually that way. No need to go to 9 p.m. on the dot. It's 8:56 over here. We will wrap up. Love you all. Continue to listen widely. Open ears equals open minds. tell your friends about it, share what you learn about other cultures, and one of the best ways to do that is through music. So it's been great hanging with y'all. We'll catch you next time.